In this video, we're going to break down the Pete Carroll era USC Trojans offense. This is one of the most dominant and electrifying offenses we have ever seen in college football. With Pete Carroll as the head coach and coordinated by offensive genius Norm Chow, the Trojans built a modern pro-style juggernaut that destroyed defenses with tempo, precision, and elite talent, which helped them win back-to-back national championships. In this video, we're going to break down exactly how the USC offense operated during that golden run. I'm going to show you what made them so deadly and how you can rebuild it in college football 25. And for this offense, we're going to be using the Michigan State Playbook. Now, this is part of my full Legion of Troy scheme, a complete team identity built around Pete Carroll's time with USC and the Seahawks. So if you want a full breakdown of the defensive side of the ball for both Madden and college football, then you can check out the full Legion of Troy playlist down below. Now, the early 2000s USC Trojans weren't just stacked, they were strategically brilliant. Built around a rock-solid pro-style approach, and then they supercharged it with power football, play-action shots, and one-of-one athletes, and here's what made them elite. USC didn't live in one personnel group. They shifted from I-form to single back to gun sets depending on the situation, and each formation served a purpose, but they all told the same story. Control the pace, force the defense to react, and get their playmakers the football. And then make no mistake about it, this was a run-heavy offense at its core. USC used fullbacks, tight ends, and downhill gap runs to control games, but once you were leaning forward, boom, they hit you over the top with play action. Whether it was seam shots, deep posts, or sideline fades, this offense was built to punish you when you overcommitted. Then with Heisman winner Matt Leinart running the show and fellow Heisman winner Reggie Bush in the backfield, this offense was loaded. Bush was one of the most electric and iconic players in college football history, used as a traditional running back in the slot and in motion to create mismatches. Leinart's poise and accuracy made the whole system hum, and at wide receiver, weapons like Dwayne Jarrett and Steve Smith created a matchup nightmare across the field. Now, here's a look at my full lineup I'm using for this college football 25 offense, and you can pause the screen if you want to take a closer look. Now, the first formation we're looking at is Strong Eye Pro. This is one of the foundational sets of the USC offense under Pete Carroll, a true pro-style alignment that used a fullback, a tight end, and two wide receivers, and it gives us the ability to control the game with physical runs, but it also unlocks one of the most deadly play action packages in the playbook. So the first run we're looking at here is Power O Alert X Smoke. This play gives us everything we want to set the tone early, a downhill gap run that establishes our physicality and it can open up the rest of our offense. Now, how this play works is it's going to be a Power O concept where the front side of the line down blocks hard, then the backside guard pulls and kicks out the edge defender, the fullback leads to the hole and takes on the first, second level defender, and the running back presses the hole, reads the fullback's block, and then explodes downhill. So why this works so well is it sets the tone and forces the defense to respect our run game. It builds play action opportunities by establishing a downhill run threat, and it gives our offense an identity grounded in toughness and ball control. So this can be our early down hammer play. Lean on it to wear down defenses and keep your offense ahead of the chains. Then next up we have PA Power O. This is the perfect counterpunch off the Power O run. Once defenses start crashing down to stop the downhill run game, this play lets you punish them with one of our most consistent play action concepts in this USC offensive scheme. To set this up, really no adjustments on this play, just come out with your tight end to the wide side of the field. Now, our first read is going to be this tight end on the corner route. After the play action fake, this tight end is going to break really deep down the field to the corner. And if the flat defender bites down, then we can just hit the tight end deep in along the sideline for huge pickups. Now, the next option I like to look to is the middle of the field with our deep crosser. If the user or linebackers come down hard on the play action fake, or they jump over to the deep corner route, then your deep crosser is going to be wide open and behind them. And this is a really good option to work that deep middle of the field off our hard play action fake. Then the last part of this play is going to be our check down to our fullback in the flat. If both our deeper routes are covered, this fullback is just a really good option. Just hit him quick underneath and let him get upfield and pick up whatever rack yards are there. Then next up, we're looking at single back wing flex. This is one of the most versatile and deceptive formations in our USC playbook. It gives us a tight balanced look with wing tight ends to one side of the field, then two receivers split out to the other. This creates natural leverage for our run game while disguising our intentions. With no fullback on the field, this formation does give us some spread elements, but allows us to do this without sacrificing physicality. It's really great for outside runs, hard play action, and intermediate intermediate pass plays that build off these tight alignments. So the run play we're looking at here is HB strong toss. This is our big play run, a fast hitter designed to get your best athlete in space with blockers out in front. And when you have a back like Reggie Bush, this is the type of play that can break a game wide open. So here we want to get the toss and hit the outside right away with our running back, and we're going to have a pulling guard out in front, and this is going to be our lead blocker, and you want to set up this block, then explode out from behind him. Then the tackles and tight end work to seal the inside or climb to the second level, and your job is to read the alley and hit it with speed. Don't dance, get vertical once the lane opens up, and you can hit some huge plays. And when you hit it right, this can be one of the best run plays you use in this scheme. So we usually run behind the tight ends, or you can flip it over to the 2 wide receiver side if the defense is overloaded towards the wing, and you just want to always pick and run to the side where you have the numbers advantage. Then for a pass play in this formation, we have slot cross, and this is our go-to man coverage killer in this scheme. It gives us 4 elite routes that can consistently beat any type of man defense you face. Now to set this up, we really have no adjustments. Just come out with your tight ends to the short side of the field. Now our primary read is going to be our tight end corner route, and this is the perfect route to attack the sideline. I love these corner routes because it's great to keep the ball away from the middle of the field where the user is. Then we can attack the middle of the field with our slot cross and our deep dig. These are designed to work together, and first we're going to look to the slot crosser, and he can get a ton of separation for some easy plays right over the middle. Then if the defense starts to jump the crosser or the user runs with it, the deep dig comes in right behind it and attacks in a similar area just later, and this layered progression makes it really hard to take away both these routes. Then our check down on this play is going to be the tight end drag coming across the field, and if there's pressure in your face or everything is covered up deeper, drop it down to your tight end, and this can be a really nice underneath option. Then if you want to take your college football 25 game to the next level, you need to check out my website, Scheme Kings. Up right now, we have part 2 of this USC video where I break down 10 more plays that include some really good ways to run the ball, then ways to beat both man and zone coverage, and some great vertical shot plays to push it down the field. Then we have a ton more videos coming up on the site for this Legion of Troy defense that will be only found on Scheme Kings. Then there's also a ton of different content you can find on the site. We have our super spread offense where I break down 3 of the most explosive passing attacks in NCAA history and show you how you can run them in college football 25. We have our triple option offense inspired by some of the greatest option attacks we have ever seen. We have defensive schemes like my Nick Saban defense that works for both Madden and college football, and a complete Bill Belichick career defense tailored for Madden 25. So by subscribing to the site, you'll get full access to all of my Madden and college football 25 content for one price. And you can purchase a yearly membership, which will save you $50 over the course of the year. And I'm also running my Legion of Troy launch sale, and it's going to run until June 15th. Use code PETE at checkout for 50% off your first month if you go with the monthly membership. So if you want to check out Scheme Kings, I will leave a link for it down below in the description. Then the next formation is going to be doubles HB weak. This is the formation we want to use when we want to spread the field without sacrificing our ability to run the ball. And this is going to give us a balanced 2x2 set, which can lighten the box and allow for some really good inside run concepts like our 0-1 trap. And then we have our buck sweep, can really hit the perimeter. Then we have some great explosive pass concepts that we can go to in this formation. So first up, we have the 0-1 trap. This is one of the most efficient inside runs in the game, and it allows us to take advantage of over-aggressive defensive linemen and over-committing users by inviting them upfield, then trapping in behind them. So at the snap, the play side defensive tackle is left unblocked, and the backside guard pulls to trap him, and then the center and the opposite guard seal off defenders and work to the second level. And as a running back, we want to press downhill behind the puller and cut up once the lane opens. So this 0-1 trap is a great run to keep the defense honest. It's a perfect base run when you're in a spread look and want to be able to run the ball in between the tackles. Then for our pass play here, we're looking at slot post, and this is one of the most well-rounded shot plays in gun doubles HB week. It attacks every level of the defense, the sideline, deep middle, and the flats. So to set this up, come out with your tight end to the wide side of the field, then take the tight end and put him on a streak, then take the wide receiver, put him on a drag. Now the first thing we're looking to on this play is the deep out route from our outside wide receiver on the wide side of the field. This is a timing route and works really well versus man or cover 3, and you want to throw this right as the receiver makes his break towards the sideline. Now if the flat defender bails out and gets underneath our out route, then no problem, we'll just dump it down to our running back in the flat right underneath this, and you can pick up a ton of easy yards. Next, we want to look to the deep post coming across the field. What makes this work is the tight end on the streak can pull back the deep blue defenders in the middle of the field, and this opens up a ton of space for that post. And if the user doesn't get deep underneath this, we can just rip this in over the middle of the field for some big chunk gains. Then if the user gets deep down the field to take the post, then we're going to have this drag route underneath. And this is a great check down if everything's covered deep and you just want to get some easy yards. Now in this section, we're going to break down what we can learn from the real life implementation of this USC offensive scheme and how we can apply those strategies to our offense in college football 25. First up, we're going to break down how USC used Reggie Bush as more than just a traditional running back. He wasn't just a ball carrier, he was a space manipulator. They motioned him, flared him, screened him, and put him in spots to make defenders miss in space. And that's exactly what we're going to replicate here. So the play we're going to break down is shake HB corner at a double HB weak. This is a great play for hitting big gains along both sidelines while giving us a strong option to work the middle of the field if the defense overcommits to the outside. To set this up, put your tight end to the wide side of the field, then take your slot receiver on the short side and put him on a flat route, and take the outside receiver on the wide side of the field and put him on a streak. Now right away, we want to look to the flat defender on the short side of the field, and if he bites down on that slot receiver flat route, then the running back is going to run a corner route to the sideline, and you can fire this in for a really big gain in behind that flat defender. This route can be especially effective in the red zone when the flat bites down and the corner drifts inside of the post and gives you a really nice window in the back corner of the end zone. Now if the flat stays vertical to take the running back, then you can quickly throw the underneath route to the slot in the flat and just pick up easy yards. Then we can also work the wide side of the field and hit the tight end wheel once he clears the flat defender on the wide side. The deep blue defender will get run off by the streak, and now you can just drop it into that hole with the wheel for huge pickups. Then lastly, if user vacates the middle to help with either of the sideline routes, then you've got a deep post breaking across into the open space and is a great option as well. Then we have the HB cross screen at a doubles HB weak. This one is all about patience and timing, and if you've been hitting downfield shots, this is the perfect changeup to throw at your opponent. Now to set this up, I just like to have my screen going to the wide side of the field. Then as soon as the ball is snapped, be patient with your QB and let that screen set up. You want to let the rush come into your quarterback before you drop it out to your running back. Then your offensive line will release and get out in front, and this is just a great way to get the ball into your best playmaker's hands, and it is really good to make the defenders pay if they're sending pressure and slow down aggressive defenses. These type of screens are exactly what USC leaned on to get Reggie Bush the ball in space and let him go to work. Then one of the biggest ways USC created explosive plays was building vertical shots off their downhill run game. Defenders would get used to triggering versus the run, linebackers would step up, safeties would lean forward, and that's when the Trojans would hit you over the top with perfectly timed play action plays. So the play action we're looking at is PA drag Y wheel at a single back wing flex. This is a vertical shot play that starts with a play action, and it's going to pull defenders out of position and can really be great to isolate your tight end and get him a ton of space for huge pickups down the field. So to set this up, come out with your tight ends to the short side of the field, take your outside tight end and put him on a streak, then put your outside receiver on the wide side on a streak as well. So we want to start this play with a strong play action, and this can help pull down the user and linebackers. Then our primary target is going to be our tight end drag wheel. He starts dragging across the field, then once he gets to the opposite side, he's going to wheel up the sideline. The streak on this side pulls out the deep blue defender, and as soon as this wheel kind of clears in behind the flat, then you can drop this deep down the field for huge pickups. And this is one of the best routes in the entire game to hit big plays versus zone. Now if after the play action the user runs with the wheel or it is just covered down the field, then we can shift our eyes to the deep crosser coming from the opposite side of the field, and it can get wide open deep down the field and is our second option on this play. Now just what you have here for this USC offense will be a great start, but remember there's part 2 of this offense already up on Scheme Kings that can take this game plan to the next level. Then if you want an amazing defense to pair with this scheme, then check out my Legion of Troy defense, and in this video right here we have a deep dive into the personnel we're using and how it all ties together, so make sure you check out the full intro to the entire scheme right here.